Hey everyone, Tim to Grandma at the RCGroups, Flying Giant shirt on. Hey Jason, you know what I think?
What's up?
I think that for Jonah this year, this might be the way to go. I don't know if we can make as many shirts that are cool like this, but I put this shirt on this morning and I thought, man, we should give that a shot.
Yeah, buddy.
It has been a morning of frustration. I got to tell you, man, I'm trying to print wood PLA and I don't know what's going on. I took my whole machine apart earlier. Anyway, that's a whole different topic. Also, I was before the podcast hoping to get, I'm really just spilling all the beans here, trying to get this Induxtrix FPV Plus rolling. It was in the air. And let me just say, I crash tested quite hard and often. I full bore this straight into a window, into a door, into a wall. Matt Gunn's frustrated because he can't get on. He says, "Can you see me?"
He's in the wrong chat.
I gave him the link. I actually found it myself. Hey, everyone, I'm broadcasting to you now from a new computer, my very awesome iMac 27-inch. The video card is letting go, literally, from the motherboard. And so I wanted something killer that didn't cost $18,000, so I went with this PC. And so, Jason, I'm almost fully migrated over on this PC.
It's a sad day for me. It's really sad. I'm sorry to hear that. My condolences.
This thing is a rock and roller. Adobe, Photoshop, Premiere are the two things I'm getting on here. What I'm looking for now is a really good 3D program to learn so I can start really making stuff on my own.
You just have to practice to get 3D skills. I mean, it's just, you just got to feel it. If you want to be like Kike, you just got to go out there and practice every day.
You're going to have to go and feel it in your pants. Don't break your pants when you're, you got some troubles. I do have troubles. My printer won't print. I'm trying to print a steel horn head, and it's just sitting over there. I don't know what the hell. Heck.
Well, speaking of prints, I got a print going and finished my.
Oh, it's I got. You know what? I have this out in my front yard. Holy cow!
What? You have one of these?
Yeah, I'll grab a picture of it. That Jason Cole.
I thought it turned out pretty good, man. My
Jason
little
Cole
TARDIS
is the king now, I believe.
What, did you print a porta potty?
I printed the TARDIS from Doctor Who. Come on.
I'm confused about what just happened. Why did this not? Why am I late? Like I
don't know.
Nothing happened.
Hashtag slacking.
Where's my porta john picture? Hold on, y'all. Somebody talk now.
Looking. Welcome, Matt Gunn.
Hey, how we doing?
What's up, buddy?
There it is. There it is.
How's my microphone sound?
Like a microphone?
Does it sound pretty bad, or
I can't hear the microphone, but I hear you, and you sound excellent.
How's my voice?
You sound great. And this is kind of our warming into the podcast as live people start showing up. I'm going to share a picture of the TARDIS in my front yard. Check it out, man. That looks exactly like what you made. Right? Am I wrong?
I just got to make a white roof instead of the blue roof.
Yep. Now check this out. This is not a good representation of what's in my yard today, because today it's like 3 times bigger than that.
Wow.
That's Vaughn's Gap Road. That is a main thoroughfare in front of my house. And so the little drainage ditch there was collapsing. I walk up to the guy, $193,000 to fix this, by the way.
Whoa.
And I said, is it really collapsing? He goes, oh yeah, it's collapsing. I said, how long until that? I mean, your tractor was sitting on it. I said, how long until that road collapses? He says, 10, 20 years. I was like, what are you people? Get out of here. No, they're going to be. I said, how long will this take? How long do you think it'll take?
3 days.
2 weeks.
2 months. They're going to be in my front yard.
Is this going to prevent your flooding in the future?
So there's talk of this. And the theory is this is going to make the water go faster past my house, which is probably going to be good. And then it's going to really obliterate like 28 neighbors behind me. So that'll be bad for them, but maybe good for me.
Nice.
So we'll see. I'll stop sharing. This is not RC related. Matt Gunn, I need your help, man.
Talk to me.
Let me find the stop button here. Okay. I got to admit, I'd love to think things are intuitive and that I'm just going to go turn them on and make them work. Now, you've got a version of this, right?
Oh, yeah. I've got 2 of them.
Okay. So I put it on acro, which I know that's how they like it, and I bound and flew it. I haven't got, yeah. So there's the meow mode. Heck, I might as well just go instead of me showing you mine, I'll go show you theirs.
Does it go like meow or does it go rare?
It does not sound like Jack Black the cat, who is. Let's see if there's any scary tabs up here I should be aware of. Nope, all the tabs are safe. Okay.
Scary tabs.
So this is it, and it does some things. It's pretty interesting. They've loaded this dude up.
Yeah.
So we'll watch the video in a second.
It does some things. I like that.
Well, it has a meow mode, so
that's just all you got to put in your review. It does some
it
things.
does some things. That's the meow mode. You hit the switch and it's tipped over. I'm yelling because the music's playing background. So it's got meow mode. It also has this. Are the videos big enough?
Yeah, we can see them.
It has the what the heck is that called? I missed the intro. Anyway, it has multiple stability mode, right? So like a real quadcopter, not like a little tiny quad. And then it's got a hyped up power system, which Matt, I really tested it today. I didn't realize it. So this is why I need your help. I bound it, I took off, and I was in acro mode. And when I pulled the right stick very gently, it went pow straight into a glass window about as hard as a quad could hit it.
So that's your problem, right?
Yeah, but let's talk about some other features. It has an LCD tail light or an LED tail light that, not an LCD, that'd be a screen.
Yeah.
That you can make it any color you want, which I'm assuming is so when you get in the camera, you can race around and tell who you're chasing.
Right.
And I will comment on extreme durability. Once again, I must have slammed it into like 4 walls before I turned everything off and sat down and jumped on the internet to figure out what I was doing wrong. They're hitting a soft leather couch. I was slamming into walls.
Nice.
Okay. So let's go here to, this is always my friend as a reviewer. Manuals and support. English. Zoom. Boom, boom. And happy Thursday, by the way. We went straight into the work job here. We're acting like RC's our job.
It's almost Turkey Day, man.
Shoot, you know what that means? Anybody?
Gobble gobble. What?
No? Matt, Turkey Day mean anything?
Black Friday.
It's my birthday, mofos.
How do I not have that on my calendar?
So
I'm finally going to be 42, the optimal age.
On Thursday?
42.
Yeah. No. I don't know. It's what's on. Sometimes I land on. I haven't checked. My birthday's the 26th.
Oh, well, that's Sunday.
Okay. Yeah. Some days. So check this out. I'm looking at the ready to fly, but this unit theoretically doesn't come with a controller, but the instructions show it with a controller. And
yeah,
when
they have a bind and fly. I mean, they have a RDF version. Yeah.
But I can't, there's nowhere in here talking to me about my DX9 or a DX.
Yeah. Get it.
What?
I saw it. What? It said bind and fly.
Yeah, but it doesn't talk about a controller like mine in this thing.
Oh, it doesn't show you the bind information for your transmitter like the other one did.
It
should be way up at the top, man. Not down at the bottom. It's always first in the list.
Well, let's go.
I saw it, so it was there.
No, it's talking about their controller, which I didn't get. All I got was a little.
No, okay, scroll down. Just.
By the way, does it say it has a? No, there's no transmitter in this. No,
keep
there
going.
it is.
Keep going. Installing the flight better. Here you go. Bind and fly setup right there. Boom, boom, boom.
Where?
Right there. It says it's that bold at the top. BNF transmitter setup.
Oh, what I think he's looking for is the detailed actual percentage and numerical settings that like came with my.
That is what I'm looking for, but this is.
There is none. That's everything you need right there. There's no percentages, no numbers, anything. Just make that the selections for your switches and you're done.
By the way, podcast listeners, I literally was sitting here trying to get this going minutes before the podcast went, so I haven't spent a day doing this. What were you about to say, Matt?
I was going to show you guys. Can you put it on me? For some reason, something is going strange with my feed here. I don't have the ability to.
Jason, do you have the matte filter on again? Did you turn that
Something's
thing
going
on?
on
Where
that
Yeah.
I
turn that
can't.
matte filter on.
We do it every other week too.
I can't make it on me. So somebody put it on.
I was watching our podcast yesterday,
Mhm.
and it made me laugh out loud, Jason. When you played that sound effect, and everyone was like, "Ah!"
All right. So is it on me?
Yeah, I see you.
This is what this is what we're talking about, Jason, because it actually shows travel, because they're set up at a 100, like the throttle on for the DX9 is at 100 and 100, but yet this one they want you to put it at 150 and 150. Same with aileron. They actually have different values than what's stock.
No,
and they
not for this quad though.
But this is the same thing, almost the exact same thing, just
a different flight board though.
You see what I'm saying though, right?
Yeah, if that was required for that quad, they would have put it in that section, but they didn't. All you need is what they show you. You don't have to change any values for transmitter throttle or anything.
I might
okay.
I don't get a chance to, but I might try and tweak this a little bit as we discuss today. Maybe I'll get this thing flying around the camera a little bit. So you know what's awesome? Here, it occurred to me last night. Whoops. I've got these goggles.
The Cyclops?
I think it's stuck on me still.
There's only one eye.
I should move this eye right in the middle, I think. But what I want to do is stick the eyeball so it's looking up, because it makes no sense it's looking down.
Yeah, it's not switching on the live feed anyway.
I'm bailing. I'm coming. I got to come back in. Something's wrong.
Now it's working. It's working.
Sorry.
Yep, it is working.
Okay.
Matt. So the beauty is I got a DVR on this thing. So to do the review, it's going to be super simple with my focal DVRs. I'm just going to put in an SD card and hit a button. I think it'll write the whole review after that.
There you go.
So what's up, Matt?
Nothing. Just having technical difficulties.
You know what? It's Frustration Thursday.
Yeah.
My printer's still not printing over there. I'm trying to print a steer head out of wood. And by the way, wood is weird in PLA format.
Is it?
Yeah, it's certainly not like standard PLA. So anyway, this is it. Look for a full review. It does a lot of cool things. It has high output motors. Of course, I don't have a single battery. I have like 8,000 of these chiclet style batteries. Do I have any that work with this? No, I don't. So if I love it, I'm going to have to jump out somewhere and buy me a bunch of batteries. I do have the charger though, standing by, which I should whip out because it's so cool.
So I was going to tell you, you probably don't really need to fly it exclusively in acro mode. So acro mode is for this quad, acro mode's like inherently a little bit more difficult to fly. It is it's fast. It might be easier just to use the bank limiting mode, which is what I've even on my Pro, I fly around in the limiting mode.
And that's what I was hunting for, because I thought, okay, a lot of times on a Horizon thing, you'll bind it and then you'll have a switch that's already activated and hot and working. And I went through every switch. If I gave it just this much stick, it would go whoop, bam, right into a wall.
And you know the official name for that flight mode, don't you guys?
Yeah, whoop, bam.
Noob mode.
Noob mode, that's it.
Hey, by the way, listen.
Just kidding. I fly in that too a lot.
Where can I get the orange covers for my switches to make me feel better about myself?
Oh, good question.
I found black on Amazon, but I want orange switch. I really want red switch covers.
30 print some.
Print them, man. Yeah.
What? I wonder if that's
rubber TPU or something. No, I don't know. I haven't seen any. I don't like covers on my switches, so I haven't looked at it.
Oh,
so you're a switch covering kind of guy, huh?
Well, I'm a modification kind of guy, and I think orange things or red things on this would look pretty awesome.
Yeah.
You know,
I did like when I flew. What did I fly of yours? Oh, the FPV plane we were doing last week.
Yeah.
I was like, I have a DX9, but it's a regular one, and when I was like, it looks awesome. It looks a lot better than my old version, I guess.
Yeah, the black is badass. And I was pretty thankful to get this. I had an 18 prior to this, but the newer 9 had a lot of new features. My 18 did not.
Yep.
So now this is kind of my primary radio. I have the DX6E or I, and I realized, man, why am I putting stuff on 2 different radios? It makes 0 sense.
I used to do that too. I had like I had 4 different Futaba radios, and I'm like going all between them.
Right. And then you get to the field, maybe you don't have the right radio. You got to reset the whole damn thing.
Okay, guys. Think back. Matt may not have this problem, but when I first started at Hobby Lobby, there was no 2.4 and Spectrum and spread spectrum technology. It was all 72 megahertz.
What do you think? I'm that young?
No. I'm just saying you didn't see this. What Jim and I saw.
Okay.
We had so many airplanes at Hobby Lobby that were demo. You know, we'd take the shows and fly, and every single plane had its own radio. So we had this wall
brutal
of shelving with radios just galore, and they all had to have labels of what airplane they were and which version of that airplane if you had multiples. And you had to deal with like 30 to 40 transmitters at a show. It was crazy. So
it sounds exciting.
Having to deal with 2 now is not such a big deal compared to that, I guess.
You know, when you go to an event, Matt, you don't go to CEF anymore, but you know how you would see manufacturers that would have placards out in front of their airplanes with information on the new bird.
Yeah.
Invented by Hobby Lobby. No one did it before us. Heck yeah. Is Hobby Lobby still in different business? That's what half the people are thinking that are watching. I don't know. It's hard to say, really.
Yep.
Hey, by the way, did anyone see me and Joe's video that just came out on YouTube like 80 seconds ago?
The one that I uploaded, yeah.
I did not.
I can't talk because the intro was so stinking cool.
What was it?
He's playing with his skills. He's building his skills up. He's doing some cool intros. It's for the new Grobner MZ24 Pro.
Nice.
So I'm in the process of uploading stuff. I had to. He has 2 videos. I had to stop one of the videos from uploading because it was taking too long. He is getting pretty crazy with his file sizes if he's watching. So he had a nice 2.2 gigabyte video.
Oh, God, you can't do that.
I'm like, Joe, it's 1080p, man. You can't give me a 2 gig video at 1080p.
All right.
Give me a 4K video at 2.2 gigs, but not that. So we're gonna have a little talkie. But
I do 720.
The beginning of that was awesome. So good job,
Joe.
Here
it is. And pretend like you can hear kick-ass techno music. Bow down, bow down, 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 down. Okay.
Yeah, we gotta get his voice leveled off to the correct volume.
This is not it. This is sorry.
That is not it.
Which one is it?
What is that? That is somebody else's video.
Oh.
Hey, y'all. Nice Joe V here.
Oh, here we go. Maybe this is it.
Wow.
Bow down, bow down, 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 down. Bow down.
The action. The action. Grobner.
Functionality.
Functionality.
MZ24 Pro.
So yeah. Hey, help me, Joe V here. So he
I need to shake my hands.
I think he's doing some After Effects.
I almost dropped my DX9. I'm sorry. Hey, this is the most unprofessional podcast we've done in months.
I like it. It's pretty dang good.
Oh my God.
I almost dropped my radio. It was too quiet. So here's what I taught Joe. I told him that within Premiere Pro or any editing software that shows you your sound levels, -12, around -12 or -10 is where you want it. Now, this is on a sound level that goes from 0 being the loudest all the way down, and it's -10 needs to be sort of the average, if you will. And I don't think we got it. So
his vocal is too low.
All right, maybe I'll pull that video down then and have him fix his sound levels.
I'm on this new system, and I've noticed some low levels on multiple videos, so you guys should look at it and determine that. I'm still new to this computer, but over here it sounds low. I gotta say, I'm a pretty picky radio guy, and these radios, color screen touch displays, they look awesome, and it's not crazy expensive.
I like it right up until you have to use that little pen to make things move. That's just my personal preference. You know, if you can't touch it with your thumbs, then I'm not 100%.
Do you have to use the stylus? You can't finger press it?
You can finger press it. It's just got small buttons.
Gotcha.
It's just like the their tower charger.
Yep.
So you can press those buttons, but you do stand a chance of accidentally pressing the wrong button pretty easily.
Yeah.
I have to say, if I was not affiliated with a radio or I had like an investment in 8,000 receivers, that would be interesting to me. And I think, I don't know where the retail value is. Is there a link in here to the story? No.
I think we're still on the video. Is that where you wanted to be?
This is a different guy. Okay, let's go back. Kropner.
Gonna go back in time.
Did you guys see the video by Hobby King this morning that was a back in time reference video?
Man, they've been doing
They are really lining them up with their video department, aren't they?
I'm going to stop and put it on Matt Gunn's face. And then I'm going to find this video. And then let's show the clown video too, because that's so dang awesome.
What? Oh, am I finding this or are you?
I'm looking right now.
Oh, okay.
I'll just go to YouTube.
So here's are you leaving me now?
It's on you right now. Yeah.
Oh. So I tore down my 3D printer for some maintenance and now I'm down and I'm literally jonesing because I can't 3D print anything.
What's wrong with my printer?
Oh yeah, is it bad? So here's what I had to do. Basically I had to take, is it on me by the way? I can't tell anymore. I'm literally so frustrated right now with this live feed. Is it on me?
It's on you.
So here's my hot end minus a nozzle. So these things sticking out on the side here, these are the resistors. I had 2 bad resistors and boy were they fried after only, I think I've got a total of about 800 meters of filament that I've put through mine, which is roughly, it translates, print time is actually about 16 and a half full days of printing is how long my unit's been running since I got it. And not nonstop, but that's just the amount of time. And finally burned up the resistors. So these are the new resistors. You have to use ultra high temp copper gasket maker to put them in there.
Yep.
And then my nozzle is trashed, so I got a new nozzle on order. I made the mistake of ordering a few parts without getting all I needed. So now I've had to order some more, and I'm just waiting. And it stinks. I need to print stuff. But check this out. During my printing tests where I was finally getting everything right, this is all, if you can see.
Well, you should make something out of that. Glue them together.
All of these 5mm calibration stepped cubes are what I've been printing. Now this is about 3/4 of them. The other ones are failures. So very small things that I've been printing. The problem has been these holes in the top. If you can see right here, there's little holes that are in the top. I finally got it right. And unfortunately there was an error in one of the prints, but the best one I did failed at the top. I can't find it anyway. So that's it.
Did you guys, I haven't tried this yet, but I read about it. Did you know, I'm sure we all have a heat gun. Jim's gone.
Yeah,
So
I have
he's not hearing this. Did you know you can smooth like PLA with a heat gun on the outer surface?
Oh my God, I'm going to try it.
I've got to try this. Jim, you just missed it, but I was reading an article about this guy that was taking a heat gun like we use for covering model airplane stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And you can do it over PLA as your finished part, and it will actually, you know, not like melt it, but it'll melt like the top layer slightly and smooth it out. So if you have any like, you know, layer lines or anything, you can essentially get rid of that with a heat gun carefully. So I'm going to try that on a test print and just see how that works.
I sold my heat. I gave my heat gun away.
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
Bad idea.
Yeah, yeah. I gave away so much stuff at one year that.
You can also use like a soldering iron or something like that to weld pieces together by heating up the plastic so that it melts and melt it together.
So we don't pollute our RC podcast with.
Well, somebody fix it. It's stuck on me still, guys.
Camera likes you, buddy.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna have to jump out and jump back again. Maybe that'll fix it. It's driving me crazy. Anyway, go ahead.
So I did a story. I talked about it last week. I will share the screen so you can check it out because I do want your interaction here. You know what? That's not the right way to share that screen. 1 second. Haven't screened. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. So, this was a toughie. How are you? I don't even know how to say it. I realized I was doing a story on someone's life here. And not only that, usually when you do these stories, you're not really good friends with the person that you're talking about or memorializing. Yeah. So I say it in the article. I might read it. I might not. But what I wanted to do here was create a story, not only a tribute to Crash, but also like a place where people could drop their stories and say things that they needed to say about him. Also, by the way, I asked Tim King, I'm like, man, any photos would be great. And so he sent me the brick here that they had made for him, which was awesome and fits perfect in this picture of, where is that? That's Seth, based on the trees. So I actually took this photo and I came around the side and took a picture right when we got there, Jason. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that's him reacting to, hey, it's Jim T.
Nice.
I hunted that. That took me like an hour to find, by the way. I was
now,
like,
what's the year on that photo?
That's 2015.
Okay. This is pre diagnoses.
I think he knew he had it, and I think it was under wraps at this time. Gotcha. And it was just kind of getting going. And so what I did was I reached out to a few people, but the whole thread is supposed to be full of stories. So this is just a kickoff to Crash Stories. Mike Finley of Flight Test jumped in, Tim King Jr., and I wrote a story. And I tend to, I write for magazines and the site and all that stuff. And so the thing that I will read it that occurred to me is that that he doesn't feel gone to me. Now, that could be because it hasn't been long enough to feel real yet. But my point is, when we go to Seth or Joe Nall, and then especially when you listen to his podcast, he's not gone. He will live on the internet forever and Absolutely. Be able, and allow people to learn and keep laughing and sharing things with the hobby. So that's the beauty of the podcast, I think. And then I have a link to the Crashcast where you can listen to it. You can go check out the Crashcast YouTube channel. And Mr. Nick down here also shared some links for the Memorial Fund and some other stuff.
So his Memorial AMA brick thing is already done, right?
Yeah, they said they not only made the money for it, they made a little more, and that went to the family. Absolutely.
Man, I hope that when my time comes, I would be half as, immortalized as Crash was. What a cool thing to have something as powerful as the AMA and, as to have your own brick there. That's cool.
The one thing I regret, and it didn't occur to me until I started doing this, was I was talking to him right up towards the end there. And how did I not think to say, Crash, let's do a story together that I'll run after you're gone? On the one hand, that's kind of a weird thing to ask somebody. On the other hand,
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, but I think if it were me and somebody said, hey, let's put the story that we run after you pass away, let's build it together. I could have done that with him. And I hate that I missed that opportunity. But there is some good news. I was talking to Lane, and Lane is talking about creating his own podcast and kind of spinning off from the Crashcast. So that may happen as well.
It'll have something name-wise to do with serpents, snakes, cobras. That's kind of his MO, right?
El Cobra.
Lane's snaky thing.
Hey, everybody. I'm sure we talked about this last week, but if you're still looking at my page, I'm circling the red dot, which created quite a bit of controversy.
Say there was a fight club.
Oh, well, we can't talk about that in a minute. So the red dot does two things. It tells you we wanted to do much more, but it's got to start somewhere, right? So it tells you about. Oh, I probably shouldn't do that. It tells you about PMs, and then it also tells you about friend requests. And
you are simmer down now.
Yeah, who knows what that PM says? I get crazy PMs, y'all. Sometimes I share it with the guys. I don't want to share it with everybody because I don't want to. Sometimes
it's private. It's a private message for a reason.
Yeah, it's a private. But I get crazy, not just like I'm gonna kill you emails. I do get those. I get like really crazy emails. So anyway, the red dot is live. We're working on a new thing. We should talk about it now. It's going to be listed right up here. And we were working on this like last year, and it got put on hold. And we decided I was going to call it the other homepage, which is a tribute to Hobby Lobby used to have the other homepage, but we decided to call it the magazine, or not the magazine, just magazine. And so it will feature all our feature stories, sort of like this, where you can see all our latest stories, but it will also have, like on the homepage, it'll have, well, the homepage doesn't have it. That's why we're doing it. It'll have recent posts on the right-hand side and more information on the left-hand side, and it'll just be a conglomeration of all the work that Jason, Matt.
You should whip up the demo. Show everybody the demo page. Is that against the rules?
No, but I probably would want to go find it.
You would need to find it.
Up. But so anyway,
these are exciting times for the site.
Yeah, it's tricky though. It's like the like button. That was a misfire. Where we had a thing in our head that we thought was going to happen, and then when it went live, it didn't look like what we had in our head, and then we all freaked out.
Yeah, that's the problem. The like button is a great idea, I think. Apparently, you guys think the same thing, and a lot of other people do. But it was the way it was implemented and the way it went down didn't work out too hot. So we have to go back and rethink that.
But we learn from that and move on.
I need that like button, man. Every day I'll see a post I want to like.
Well, we could talk about little news. Let's see if there's anything. Jason Cole just did this. You want to talk about this, Jason?
Yeah, I mean, we pretty much covered it last week.
You're right. We did.
Talked about flying it, but yeah, love the Easy Glider 4.
What else is cool?
Rave reviews.
We talked about your truck, Matt. All right.
You guys already talked about it?
No, we didn't. Okay, let's talk about that.
Oh yeah. All right, you got it pulled up there.
First of all, I want to say Matt's going to credit the driver of the truck.
Yeah, my 4-year-old son Preston drove this truck and through the video and the photography. Hey, do you like my RCGroups logo at the very top in the splash page? You like that?
I'm missing it.
Oh man, exactly. Look at it. Look at the truck. Look down in the right corner. Oh my God, man! Your mouse is on top of the RC.
Oh, I thought it was on the truck body. I thought you had a sticker
out of the mud.
Yeah, you got it dipped in the mud. Nice.
Yeah. So this is the.
I was looking for something more.
Yeah, it's the Thunder Tiger Toyota Hilux. It's modeled after like a 1980 to 1983, I think, Hilux. Basically the predecessor to the North American Tacoma, and awesome little truck, man. It's available from Grotner USA as the distributors of Thunder Tiger now, and I was highly impressed with this rig. It is a go anywhere, all-wheel drive, fully locked. Both axles are lock solid, and it is pretty impressive.
Isn't this? Didn't Marty McFly get this truck at the end of back?
He did. He had the American version. It was just the Toyota pickup truck.
Yeah. In black.
Right. Yeah. So this
is
little truck is
4-year-old driving.
Yeah, this is a little 4-year-old driving it, and he does an awesome job at it, man. He is just the perfect driver, and it's actually on a pretty scale surface. So if you look, all the little tiny pebbles and rocks are somewhat correctly sized if you would say that was a full truck, right? So it works out, man. This was a fun little shoot, and me and the boy had a good time driving it. I can tell him which direction to go. I can tell him exactly what to do, and then he does it. And then I shot all this on the DJI Osmo, so I was able to get some pretty stabilized handheld video down low like that. And the Osmo is cool because you can point it straight down and then double click the trigger, and it'll turn the camera and face level forward no matter how you're holding the handle. So I didn't have to bend down very far.
You really gotten some mud in this thing.
Dude, we destroyed this thing in mud. I literally had to hose it off afterwards, and it took it too, man. So there's a good little mud pit here coming up right now. It's like the best mud in the whole thing right here. Look at that.
Ronk. Look at those wheels. They're over. So does
This
your
video
son
got- yeah.
does your son go out and like drive? He's like, Dad, I want to drive the truck.
Yeah, he asks me every once in a while. I don't limit it as much as I probably could, but you know, I let him drive and I let him do his thing, and it's not like preoccupying him. So that's the big problem. I think that I don't want him to be 100% focused on RC. I want him to do sports. I want him to do all this thing, and he does it, no problem. But I think once every 2 weeks or so, we'll go out and have a good session. Maybe once a week sometimes. But he's got an indoor rock crawler that we play with and stuff like that.
So you know, RC won't blow his knees out.
Oh yeah, that's true.
True that.
Very
Yeah.
cool. Very cool. What's the price on this young lady?
What is it? 190, 219.
$219.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hopefully hopefully they've sold a few of them. Seems to be pretty popular little truck. It's got good reviews.
A lot of good reviews coming out on Grupner lately. How about this thing, man? Hubba hubba.
Yep, good looking little AT6. We talked about that last. We actually pulled up this exact same one last.
Man, deja vu. And you know what's happening, y'all? It's wintertime is what's happening.
I remember because I called it for some silly reason an attack. AT was attack trainer, and then I got schooled that it was advanced trainer. So
It's like AR.
Aw.
All right, I'm gonna scroll through here, and then it's up to you guys to talk about RC things. So we talked about our contest on Flying Giants, but was it live at the time?
It was not live. No. Head on over flyinggiants.com.
Guys, I've got a dilemma.
What's your dilemma?
Got a dilemma.
I got a dilemma. So, you know, obviously I'm probably, you know, pretty crowded in here. I've got airplanes everywhere. I don't have enough space. So we're looking at purchasing a larger house, and that comes with selling our current condo.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to do that, we have to stage the house, right? You have to make it look like a house.
I'm in the same boat, brother.
So I can't like have a hobby room with airplanes and build table and everything in a third bedroom that's supposed to be a bedroom. It's got to look like a bedroom for a potential buyer.
Correct.
So what do I do with all of this stuff? Do I go buy a storage unit and just
rent a pod?
Yeah, pod. Right.
Rent a pod.
Start moving stuff in that thing.
I got no place to put a pod though.
Oh, you're right.
I can't
Yeah.
just.
What about Jim's house?
Yeah, I'm bringing all my stuff over to your house, Jim.
Put it in that giant ditch out front.
Well, the whole road's closed for 2 months, so you can put your pod out there.
So I am like I'm having to really rethink like essentials, like what do I absolutely have to have accessible to me, and what can I pack up and
Here's what
store.
you do. Shove everything in your closet that is not model airplane related. Just wall to ceiling. I mean, literally, you open the door, and it's your crap in the shape of the door. Like literally,
Yeah.
That's what you do in that closet right there. And then take all your model airplanes and find a good buddy near you and store them at your house.
Yep.
Now,
It's just that's great for some stuff, but then you know all of the aircraft have to go somewhere else, and it I don't even think it'll all fit in the garage properly. But
when I said I
we'll
gave
see.
away
So that's coming up.
my heating iron, after the big flood, I had to go through the basement and go over what I mean, like I was like, have I used anything in this bucket that I've had for 10 years of the hobby?
Yeah, I do that a lot.
But there's $1,000 worth of mufflers and wheels and landing
Yeah.
gear and servos. And I made a commitment, and I took it in to a Nashbro, and a guy said, how much you want for the whole bucket? And I said $1 because I'm stupid.
Yeah.
And the guy gave me $1 and took everything basically I owned up at that point in my career.
Yeah.
Now I can't tell you how many times I've thought, oh, that was in the bucket.
I know. I do that too. I throw things away. I don't even charge $1 for them. I just throw away random crud, and then I go, oh, I could have used that. And that always happens.
That's exactly my problem. Is I'll take if I crash an airplane and it's destroyed, I'll pull all the control horns off of it, all the push rods, anything I can save. I'm like, I might be able to use this later. I'll save it. And so it just accumulates, over 16, 17 years. And then you end up with nowhere to put stuff anymore.
Been there, done that.
You just have to look at a thing and say, am I a hoarder? And I have thrown away like really cool stuff before that I wish I hadn't, but I've thrown away 80% more crap that I did need to throw away. So.
Yep. And then, you know, so we've been running some pretty different articles lately on RCGroups. So I've got my how do you store your planes, and then we did, you know, what plane got you started, just nostalgia kind of stuff. And then so Nick kind of ran with that, and he's got a how do you store your stuff, like small parts and things. So there's some good tips and tricks in that article that I need to go back and reread for storage and organizational type things.
Yeah, and he says he got no responses from it because nobody stores their crud. Everyone does what we're doing. Everybody just piles their stuff on desks, and then they throw it all out when they're done.
Yeah, let me just leave this here for 5 years, and then I'll throw it away.
Let me show you guys where I have two. I'm sorry, I'm coming back. So I have two bolt bins. One of the bolt bins is the RTL fasteners, those beautiful separated cases. You know what I'm talking about? The RTL fastener separate cases.
Yeah.
So I did a review on them, and man, that was a long time ago. But I did reviews, and here they are. You can see, I don't know, can you guys see my screen?
See.
Here it is. So here's all the RTL fastener stuff. All of it's labeled and looks beautiful. And then you have this mess, which is my actual bolt bin. And it's just, that's it. This is where I keep, oh, see, it's all falling out. Whenever I need a screw, I dump this out on a table and find the screw I need. And then I put it all back in. This is problem. This is bad.
Yeah.
This is what I do.
It looks a lot like that. Yep.
Go to Amazon.com and you can get little plastic bins for $3.
Oh, I know. I literally have nightmares thinking about separating all of this into some workable order. What would I do?
I try to go machine screws, like wood screws, nuts.
Right. It doesn't matter if they're standard or
metric. Yeah, just throw it in.
Wood screws, grommets, spring-loaded washers and washers. That's it, guys.
Yep.
You got it, Jason.
Then you're like, the thing I need is probably in this bucket somewhere. Let me find it.
I know. It's better than dumping this out. I could dump out smaller containers.
Yeah.
My favorite drawer is the washer drawer. I never have a washer the kind that I need. I drill out a lot of pennies, I have to admit.
Oh, yeah.
See, Peter Carlson says, Gun, I use the exact same system. It's bulletproof. These little things are the best, though. And you cannot break this open. I've dropped this so many times and it doesn't do anything. That's the good thing. However, the problem is like what we're just saying. Everything is in here. There's stuff in here from 10 years ago, man. So, and you're right. When I rob stuff off of planes that have crashed, it all goes in there.
Yep. Love it.
I inherit tools from dead relatives. And so when I do a project, yeah. And so like if I especially her grandfather, I have all his toolboxes because no one took them. I'm like, Are you kidding me? So I have all his tool bins on my workbench, and I'll fix something in the house. He'll always have something in there. And I'll say, I fixed this with your grandpa's tools. And my wife always makes her feel warm inside, I think.
Nice.
Okay. Hey, Matt, I want you to talk about this contest.
All right. Hey, you ever notice something that all of your tabs across the top looks like some sort of medieval fortress top up there?
No.
That looks dangerous up top.
Let me ask you a question. Why don't they highlight the tab that you're on?
It is.
It is highlighted,
you know what?
on my face, looking like I've never seen any. I'm like,
You're right. You know what? Maybe this is the beauty of going PC. I just noticed the PC on my Mac. It was never highlighted.
No, it is. It's highlighted on mine. I'm on a Mac.
I always use that. Anyway, Matt Gunn totally had this idea and made it happen. Matt, I'm going to turn the temperature on my printer up to 200 and see if it'll start printing because I'm getting frustrated.
Stuck on Matt again.
Yeah, stuck on. Dang, I really need to be. I'm the one that always mans this, by the way, and I've lost my ability to. Okay, are we on it? No, not yet.
Well, there's a little bit of a delay from
There we are. All righty. Let's see. Is Jim away from his desk?
Jimbo.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the Booma RC Advanced Radio giveaway, and I actually talked about this last week, I think, but we'll talk about it again. And when Jim gets back, he can scroll down. Head on over to flyinggiants.com. Post a picture of your airplane. It better be a giant scale airplane. Unfortunately, you're not going to be putting one of these units in a small foamy. So if you have a big bird that could benefit from the AR Smart Bus or from the AR Advanced Radio, those pocket chargers, then enter. And all you need to do is post a picture of your airplane or planes. So that's a good thing. If you have multiple giant scale planes, post multiple posts to it, each one being different. You'll double your chances, triple your chances every time that you post a picture of your airplane.
You bought another $800 airplane, you get another chance. So it only
That's
costs
correct.
$800.
And it doesn't even need to be built. That's the good thing. There was some pictures of stick planes. There's some pictures actually of planes that aren't even built yet. And that's fine because it's your plane. But if it's not your plane and I find out, then things are going to go south for you real fast, my friends.
That was discussed. What if they post some? I said, I guarantee that if you win, we'll definitely check to make sure it's your airplane.
Oh, I'll do a reverse image search on Google in a heartbeat. I will find that photo, and you will not like it if I find it somewhere else.
Let's go check out Booma RC. They have been with the Flying Giants before my time. That's how long.
Oh, is that a bad link by Matt Gunn?
It says Booma RC.
Oh, there it is. It took a minute to load. So at Joe Nall last year, actually earlier this year at Joe Nall, had a nice interview with Rick Gell of Booma RC.
I'm Rick Gell.
Is it Rick Gell or Rick Gell?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I was thinking of the Rick James.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty good. So they've got 3 versions of that Smart Bus. If you'll go up just a little bit and click on that Smart Bus link right there. Boom, yeah. It is the Smart Bus Elite, the Smart Bus Advanced, I think. And, hey, what do you want, AOL.com?
It's not me.
Oh, yeah, we're actually transmitting over to Australia and back. So that
is that it? Okay, I was about to say.
Yeah, he's not in the States. The Smart Bus Elite, Smart Bus Extreme, and the Smart Bus Extreme 3S, which is a good high voltage unit. These are awesome units. So these are basically multiple battery redundancy systems, power all your servos from multiple different battery packs. You also have, as you can see there on the Extreme, you have a built-in optic fiber. What is it? The fiber kill for the ignition system there. That's that blue thing sticking out the side of that.
Oh,
good units, man. These are really, and they have really good feedback from people. So they also make a turbine version, so you can run all sorts of different battery packs and monitor sensors, and that thing can handle the voltage from all of it.
Awesome.
Very nice.
Thank you, Booma. Be sure and enter. Be sure to go to Flying Giants. I actually need to get a mass email out on this. I was thinking
Big
that
time.
yesterday. Yep.
Let's hit everybody.
How long is this? Okay. How long does this contest run?
It runs until the 11th or 12th of December. So 1 month from the date we started it. I think I started it on the 12th. So you got a little bit of time, y'all.
Some of that now. I wanted to just, here's that. How do you organize your stuff?
How cliche. Screws, nuts, bolts, oh my.
Where does it say that? Oh. All right, all right. That is a lot of stuff, Nick.
Nick has a lot of goodies. Look at all that. Now, that's what I want to do. He's got those Stanley organizers.
They're not cheap either. They're like $37. I had my hands on some.
Yeah, buddy.
You know what I did is I went to Amazon and I found these clear plastic dividers, and they just sit under my cabinet. And I'll be like, I need this, and I'll throw them up on the workbench, find it, lock it up, put it back down. That's how I do it. Although the one problem about this review I'm doing on the Induxtrix, I will stop broadcasting here, is that I want to fly it around the office and the shop. But you know what that means?
What?
I have to clean the office and the shop.
Yep, you do. And I've actually found out how much the house Wi-Fi in 5.8 messes with these things. It really is bad, especially that I use a Wi-Fi extender, which really blasts the signal around.
You know, you said that to me, and I wanted to mention I drilled a hole in the wood floor to the basement. And
Oh,
I
you're
ran-
running
I
Cat
ran-
5.
Yeah, I ran Cat 5 straight to my office.
See, I want to do that. I have been wanting to run a wired Ethernet system in this house, but the ceiling is not conducive of it. Oh, somebody's at the door, Jason.
You get a package?
My wife's home, I guess.
You should try to get Amazon to come to your house when they've dug a hole in your road.
Oh, maybe it's the doorbell just rang, so maybe it is somebody.
Uh-oh, show us who's on the screen. Let's talk to them. Let me talk to them through the stereo system. And
You better get your home security device out.
I'm telling you.
It looks like a UPS.
Oh, is this going to be a live opening?
I don't know.
We have a
Let me
print.
go see if it's
I got to show you guys something.
Let me go see if it's something RC. Be right back.
I've got
a wood print going down over here. It's happening.
It's going down on the wood. Easy.
Hey, everybody, if you don't want to hear about 3D printers anymore, tell us and we'll just talk about it to ourselves when we're not live on the internet. The issue I was having, Matt, is that wood PLA would not stick to my glass. So I heated it up to 80.
Why are you, for the love of Pete, not using the disappearing purple, man?
I use
everything.
I use PEI.
Don't waste your time with that. Use this.
PEI.
Five little sideways of disappearing purple. It's so easy to get off too. All you do is take a wet napkin and just wipe it in a circle, and then take a dry one and do it, and it's off instant.
With PEI, all I have to do is get a paper towel and rubbing alcohol, and that's it.
So you don't have to mess with rubbing alcohol.
What? Jason, what do we get?
Well, that's easier than glue. I don't use anything for adhesion. It's just the bed.
If that wood won't stick.
Jason?
Oh, it was from my wife.
Well,
all right, so
I don't know.
None of my
She
business.
said it was for me. I said, no,
you got a big old box of Nunya.
Which I'm actually good. Like, I don't need any more surprise review stuff because
yes, I kind of surprised you with that Hobby King airplane, didn't I?
Yeah.
Well, we didn't. That thing it's been shipping since Joan Hall. So
yeah.
I got something to show you guys. Put it on me.
It's on you.
Is it?
As far
ready?
as Jason, is it on him?
Almost. I think we're a little behind on the live feed lag. Hopefully it switches.
You guys ready for this?
There it goes.
Ready for tennis shoes? Oh, the Goblin.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
This is the Strix Goblin Nano. All right, you guys watch.
If I were to buy an FPV plane right now, that would be the one I would order.
Look at this. This is beast mode. So if I was to buy an FPV plane right now, I would say to buy this thing too. Here we go. Look how tiny it is.
Yes.
The fact that this thing weighs, I don't even know what this weighs as much as, but it is not as much as a model airplane should weigh because it's nothing. So right on the back, I can't even read that. Oh God. 1407, 3500 kV Cobra motor. Look at that little tiny thing. So pops off right here with a rare earth magnet, like so. Doesn't make that noise, by the way. We got a thing for the 25 milliwatt VTX that they sent with it. You can put whatever you want camera-wise on this in VTX, but to keep it light, we went with an all-in-one unit. So it's got the, what are these, XT30s, Jason? Is that 30 amp?
Yeah, it looks like it. It's a small
Yeah,
one.
XT30 and a very tiny, looks like a 25 amp ESC. We've got Strix servos. These are non-metal gear. They're plastic gear servos built right in. You can pretty much see the spars through here. I'll hold it up to the light. We got a spar across the middle and then nice little carbon strips across the back. On the front, got a room for a camera built right in. This is one of my favorite things about these new Strix planes is that they do that. And then here we go for a battery. We got a Power Strix. Ooh, they sent me a Li-ion. So things are really starting to happen with these Li-ions for some reason. And I don't know why. The Li-ion revolution has kind of been on hold. Would you guys agree? I mean,
on hold. I mean, it's outdated technology compared to light.
People are using them more, man.
I don't understand why.
Actually, they pack a little bit more gas tank, and maybe the voltage isn't there as much. But I think these Li-ions are safer than the LiPos, and they have a little bit more fuel reserve on them.
I don't know. They're usually heavier for the same capacity.
So this is a 7.4 3200 right here. And yeah, I don't know if it's any heavier or not.
Yeah, that's pretty small for 3200.
I think this is my take on it. Li-ion is making a very slight comeback. My God, I'm having a brain fart. The Toyota Hilux that came with a Li-ion. So apparently they're now shipping more Li-ion batteries. Maybe it's because of the shipping restrictions on lipos, but whatever it is, this one came with a little Li-ion, and it came with a little generic 3-in-1 camera here. Cool. So you guys know the routine on these little guys. Nothing really crazy, but here is a I said 3-in-1. I meant 2-in-1. So it's got a 25 milliwatt VTX, a linear antenna, a nice little camera, and it's got a little what are these? Not is LCD? No.
It's just a display, digital display.
Yeah, just a little display
LED. Well, dude, I'm excited. I think I'm gonna have one of those in the springtime.
It's gonna be nice, and I'm ready to fly it. So that's it. Wanted to show you guys the Strix Nano Goblin. They're fast too, man. I think they can actually whip around the trees and move around and stuff like that. So
you may have said it, but I may have just missed it. Does it have stabilization in it?
It does not. There's no stabilizer on this one, and I'm not going to put it on it. Yeah. I think it's going to be too heavy. Now the
I think it'd be cool to maybe put like an AS3X receiver in it.
Absolutely, that would be the way to go. Actually, is to put an AS3X right on the center of gravity, and be done with it, man. I think that's a really good idea, Jason.
Cool. Yeah. I'll
probably end up going Futaba though, or I could put a Dragon Link Nano 433 in it and see how.
Wow.
Now on 25 milliwatts, it's probably not going to even matter. I think I would run out of video range before I even ran out of 2.4 gig range on it. But I don't think I'm going to mess around. I'm not. I mean, I've got that the Nano Sky Hunter up here, and this one has also a. So here's the Nano Sky Hunter that I did the review on last year, and this one's a pretty fast little rig, and it's got some distance. But here's the Dragon Link copter receiver, which is just a standard size receiver with the two antennas coming out the top and the bottom. So this is actually twice as heavy as that little plane. That's it. That's all I got.
Cool.
Yep.
Jim T, you still there?
I know. I lost him. What are you reading, a novel?
No, I was looking for my, I think it was a Banggood Nano that I built. And I was going to say that the 200 milliwatt micro camera that, and I just ordered it. I ordered another one. That's how much I like it. Anyway, on a little plane like that, I would definitely get out of 25 and get into 200. And then you could do whatever the heck you wanted. Or 1.3 would be cool.
Yeah, 1.3 would. I think we're getting into heavier territory than this little plane wants to be.
Yeah, you might.
I'm going to see what it can do. I mean, with a good ground, with a biquad on the ground to go with that linear, I think it'll get some distance to it without too much breakup. We'll see though.
You'd be the guy to see how far a little airplane like that can go.
I like to do it. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we're at the end of our hour.
Well, Jason, if you got one of those, we could take the Theory Type W out and do a head-to-head.
Yeah.
You think? Wait a minute.
It'd be fun.
I think the Theory Type W is a little bit bigger than this little guy.
It's bigger and faster.
I think the UMX F27 is a contender in size for the Theory Type for this one.
I have my Nano's just sitting over there begging for me to do something with it.
Mm-hmm.
And, by the way, big news.
Talk to me.
I ordered calipers.
Yeah.
Finally, what'd you pay for them? Not more than $10, right?
Yeah, I paid $11 because it was red and black, which are my colors. And it had 5 stars. And so I want to say I've now moved up. I'm at level 6 of the shop wars as far as being straight. So
I can't believe you've gone as long as you have without having a set of calipers.
I guess I never knew why I needed them until now.
Yeah.
You also need a multimeter, man. Do you have a multimeter? I'm sure you do.
I do, and I can barely operate it. I have to admit. I use it on certain things, but with YouTube, there's no reason for me not to. And I do whatever. If I have a thing, I go to YouTube and go, okay.
I'll knock on wood here that I'll say that I'm very confident that I have prevented many blue, purple smoke incidents by using a multimeter before I hook something up, especially on tiny boards and stuff like that.
And speaking of that, I did a full diagnostic on my 1.3 Fat Shark. Now I wrote the company. I paid for that transmitter, $45, 49, I think. Mm-hmm. I wrote to the company. Actually, I'm not going to include their name. I don't know what it is, and that probably wouldn't be cool anyway. But I said, hey, I got this transmitter. It didn't work. Maybe you would like to provide me another one. I'd be happy to include your name. I never heard back from them. So I never really heard back from anyone about anything. It's been about a week now.
Yeah.
I did cut the back off a little slit in the plastic covering of that video transmitter, and it did smell a little magical in there, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know how I did it, but I have a feeling it either was smoked or I smoked it. So I'm just going to purchase another one and call it good. Hopefully the next one will rock and I'll be able to fly.
I'm going to guess that maybe along somewhere when you wired it into the system, like the positive and negative wiring to the battery, maybe those leads touched wherever you put that in line with your ESC or your battery connection. You know what I'm saying?
It might be. It was a JST, you know, and that JST is pretty good about not letting you do that. But
yeah,
it is.
You had to solder that JST wiring in line somewhere.
Yeah. Now there was no soldering.
How did you hook it to your battery though?
And it's a Fat Shark, so it has the plug-in piece. You know what? No, it worked. It worked at one point. So I had a Fat Shark wire. Yeah, and it plugs right into it. And
you did it off the balance tap of the battery?
Yeah. Gotcha.
Did you use the power filter from Ready Made RC?
No, but that wouldn't stop it from broadcasting.
No, I'm strictly talking about polarity problems that would have smoked it.
No, I would have done it, but I didn't. So it was straight in, straight out. There was no muss or fuss. So I don't know, man.
Fuss somewhere. I bet you there was an internal fuss, not related to what you were doing.
Well, with that said, I was talking to you guys yesterday, and we're on the podcast, and it's podcast fodder. I would love if anyone has had an issue with like a VTX like this, and they went in and pulled out a diode and put in a new diode. I have a drawer full of diodes, by the way, for stuff like this. I would love to be able to fix it and then have two video transmitters in 5.8. Mm-hmm. But
I fixed a free fly gimbal board doing that one time. It stopped working. I went in and saw a component that went bad. I found a similar component out of some random other speed controller thing that I had. I pulled that surface mount off and soldered it onto the board, and it fixed it. It actually fixed it. I was super happy with that.
It's always
possible.
I'm sure that free fly board wasn't cheap.
No, they were not.
Yeah.
Like $1,300 for the set.
Oh, no wonder you went in there. You probably would have.
You were praying while you did it.
Exhausted every avenue before you had to buy it.
Yeah, it's like, what's the worst that can happen? It's already broke.
Seriously.
Well, the good news is on my frustrating day, Jason helped me figure out, I believe, the switch situation. So when we get off this live broadcast, I'll do that. And hopefully by next week, I'll have a review for everyone to look at. My wood PLA steer mounted on the wall is actually printing, looks really good, man. I think I got it going. I put the bed at 80 and I've got the PLA at 203. Yeah, well, it wasn't where everybody else said go low, go 60 and 50. And they wasn't even sticking to the bed. So I thought hotter is better.
Well, the only problem you'll get at 80 is elephant feet. It'll just melt out.
Well, luckily it's literally a wood thing with a bull head on it. So it'll look fine.
I can't wait to see it.
Jason, are you going anywhere? Or are you in? You getting ready for the house move?
Yeah, we're just getting ready for that. We're staying around here for Thanksgiving, so we'll see what the weather's like. Maybe do some flying if it's nice or something. We'll see.
All right, and I'll hold my breath for your present for your surprise birthday party. Mac, what do you got going on?
You see it, man. I've got to get the Nano Goblin ready, and that's it. I want to be 3D printing. I can't be. If you look over here, maybe you can see this. I've got a huge row stock printer right there with no hot end on it. So it's just sitting there, and it's crying because here's the hot end waiting for parts that I haven't even gotten a notice yet from the company that says, yeah, we received your order. So I'm like, it's going to be middle of next week before this thing even comes in.
The lesson is always have a spare hot end nozzles on hand.
How about the lesson is you always have a spare printer on hand? Because I was literally, I'm not even kidding, guys. This is how I think both of you two printing has renewed my interest in my printer. My printer sat idle for a couple months, and then I finally, now that you were printing, I got it up, I got it tuned again, and I was just kicking ass with it, taking names. I mean, literally, I was printing all the goods, printing all the things. So then when it died this morning, I was so upset that I started Googling who has printers in Cleveland. I'm gonna just go buy one.
Nice.
But I don't know if you've heard of a place called Micro Center. Do you guys have a Micro Center down there? Micro Center.
I know of it.
You said you were buying PLA, and it occurred to me later, where the heck is that? Where Micro Center you bought the PLA?
So there's about 20 miles from here. There's a really cool place called Micro Center, and it is think of Best Buy, that they sell you can build complete computers from.
Oh, wow.
So I bought a large amount of stuff to build this computer right here, my Corsair that I built. If you look up in there, I've got all sorts of goodies going with it. It is just a very nice,
There's people in there.
Yeah, it's me on the other side.
It's like a small city.
So that computer, I bought a lot of stuff from at Micro Center, and I went there and looked at their printers. And they have the Taz. Who makes the Taz?
I don't even know what a Taz is.
Oh, really?
Me neither.
You guys don't know what a Taz is? Printer.
What's happening, Joey Crane?
It's a Lulzbot Taz 6. See, I'm sure you've heard of Lulzbot, right?
Yeah.
Lulzbot.
Yep.
So they're expensive, man. Like in the $2,500 range, but those printers aren't any better than a Prusa. So so in my opinion, Lulzbot came on at the beginning. There's a couple of companies like there is MakerBot and Lulzbot and Creality. Those companies came on at the advent of 3D printing. They jumped on the boom when all the printers were $2,500 for a printer, right? Then all the lower end companies came out, the Anets or Anets or whatever, the Prusa, the Flash Forge, some of these other ones came up, and my Rostock here from See Me CNC, and they started going below $1,000, right? And you started getting in the $500 range, then the $200 range, and then some of these $350 printers print as well as the Lulzbot printers, but they won't drop their prices. So they somehow you think that, well, if I pay more for a printer, obviously it's going to work better. That's not always the case. That's true in a lot of cases. It's not always the case. So my point of that was at Micro Center, they had the Lulzbot Taz 6 for $2,500, and then they had some no-name brand for $250 that I could have got on Amazon for $199. And I said, I'm not buying it. I'm not just going to go buy a random printer just to be able to print. I got to have something I want.
But let me say this to our listeners. I've listened to other podcasts where they talked about like wood burning lasers, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm out of here. I don't have a wood burning laser. I'm never going to own one, and I don't want to hear about it. So quit talking about it on my podcast. But what I suggest is just go buy a 3D printer, and then you'll find us really interesting, and you'll be like, these guys really know what they're talking about. I will say this: 3D printing. I'm printing stuff for my son. In fact, he came in the office yesterday. Nothing was printing. He said, hey, since you're not printing anything, why don't you print this for my friend?
And you're like, okay, I guess I will.
Yeah, he's like utilizing print time now.
Sure.
Yeah.
Making stuff for my wife.
He's getting in the books.
Right. So right now, and then I'll end here so we don't kill you people with 3D printing talk. I want to make more natural things that look like ivory and wood and brass. And so that's where I'm going here. I'm learning to, I used to do 3D in the old days. So I'm going to teach myself a new 3D app, and then I'm going to get in there and I'll make cool stuff.
Use Cura if you want a good 3D app.
No, man, I want to make 3D objects.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, then use
Blender. That's what I got today.
I find that what's the one that we use?
SketchUp.
No,
Tinkercad.
I find Tinkercad works for 99% of the stuff I want to make.
All right.
I mean,
my plan was originally to 3D print an airframe this winter, but that's gonna have to wait till I move into a new house. So that may or may not happen this winter. We'll see. But I do want to print an airplane and fly it, and we'll talk about that when that comes.
Want to now that PLA is so much more friendly than ABS.
Well, next week, let's talk about first. I'm going to just tell you guys in advance. I'm going to line up some hilarious Hobby King videos that Matt Gunn shared with me that I guess I wasn't aware they were doing these things. I get their emails and I'll look at them to see if there's something I need to buy. But and so we have that. Let's talk about our aspirations for the winter, as in what are we going to build, fly, repair? Because I certainly.
Are we going to have a podcast next week? It's Thanksgiving.
On Thursday?
Yeah.
No
okay.
podcast.
Okay, everybody. We just got a new live viewer on, by the way, and it's like 10 minutes past. So I guess no podcast next week. We're not doing any of the stuff I just talked about.
We do that the following week.
Yeah. Man, I'm sorry. Well, how about this? How about we wish all of y'all a happy Thanksgiving? And,
happy Thanksgiving, y'all.
Yeah. And I'll just assume you're all wishing me a happy birthday. And I'm thinking about getting an iWatch, Matt. I'm following in the steps of Jason. I haven't decided if I'm really can go that far.
You guys are killing me. Do it. You know what? I mean, when in Rome, and Rome being Nashville.
I saw a review on the Apple Watch, and they said it does some things.
It does some things. Yes, please don't let me forget I say that. I'd like to whip that out at a show or two.
I think you should.
It does some things.
You've been listening, man, and some things.
Simmer down now. It does some things.
So Joey Crane said he doesn't mind the off-topic conversation now at all. To be honest, the off-topic conversation keeps things interesting. Smiley face. I agree.
I keep an eye on the live count. Sometimes we've gone on topics, and I'm not going to say it because it'll go down as I say.
Oh, it'll just hemorrhage viewers. I remember accidentally saying the T word by mistake, meaning our commander-in-chief, and boo, people jumped off like it was a burning ship.
Yeah, I will never do it again.
Never. We do not mix politics unless it's AMA.
But we're doing it now.
No, we're not. We're not doing it. We're just talking about the old times, man.
So I'm going to get this Induxtrix going and flipping and flopping and all that good stuff. I'm going to FPV it through the house. My real goal is to get out of the basement, up the stairs, through the kitchen, and I've never been able to get past the living room before it fizzled out on me. So yeah, it's a flash sheet in my walls, I think.
No, use the linear. Don't use a circular.
Okay.
You're completely fighting it if you put a circular polarized antenna on your goggles.
Okay.
Use a linear and then enjoy the distance, my man.
Hey, I was really sad to hear that about Nick.
What about him?
He's cliche. That's
I was going to comment earlier and say, no, he's not cliche. I just was being kind of a, D word. I was just joking, by the way.
All right. Well,
I'm the one that proofs 90%. You guys proof too. I'm the one that proofs 90% of the articles from the guys, and I guess I know what I want, right? I know what I want to see from the guys when the articles come out. I have a sort of we know our style and how we write. We know what we want, stuff like that. And so sometimes I have to say simmer down now, and sometimes I love everything that comes out. So yeah, I'm just kind of being myself when I
would totally use that line.
What?
Oh, let's see how good.
Bolts and nuts and bends.
Screws, bolts, washers, and nuts. Oh my! No, I would totally use it. Like I wrote, and a guy got all over my butt. I said in the review of the Fat Shark Focal DVR, the title was "I'm a fan of the fan,"
and he didn't like it.
Oh, he was like sideways about it.
I would have done that.
He said that this was obviously a hold on. I'll read it. I'll go there. I wouldn't go there in the past, but I'll go there now. Let's see if I can find it.
I think some of my intro things, I try to be so witty And like here, I wrote a Rubicon Ready Wrangler.
Rubicon Ready Wrangler. Say it 3 times.
Yeah, and then sometimes sometimes it gets boring. Like I don't know what to say, and then sometimes I say something that's really fun.
He said, "I laughed out loud when I read how they're a fan of the fan."
Oh, so he liked it.
No. And he says, "This is obviously a paid review. I mean, infomercial." That was another part of
Oh, that's one of those guys.
So, and I'll tell you what I told him. I'll tell you guys that are listening to the podcast. We go to like Seth, and I will see people looking at goggles that I've reviewed or owned or had, and I'll just walk over and I'll be like, "What questions do you have?" And a vendor loves it when I do that. Usually they don't initially like it, but it's
Yeah, they're like, "Who is this guy? Is he on the payroll?"
Yeah. And they'll be like, "Can I wear this with my glasses? How does it work with my eyes? Blah, blah, blah." And that's all the stuff I'm looking for. And when I fly at Nash Pro and it's 98 degrees and it's 100% humidity, I am a fan of the fan. By the way, my Sky Zone goggles didn't have a fan. And so when I finally got one, I was like, yes, of course. Why don't we have fans on like my Oculus Rifts? Why don't I have fan on Oculus Rift? I was playing a game last night and steaming them out. So yeah. So
here's my favorite. Here's a good instance. Let's see. Oh my God, where's my thing? Here we are. Screen share. It's my best work right here, guys.
Wow, that's quite a deal.
The yellow dragon wagon. I'm thinking, what's a good intro piece for this gigantic yellow school bus? And so I Googled. This is how my mind worked. So I Googled, what's a slang word for a school bus, and somebody wrote the yellow dragon wagon. Damn. You know,
hey, speaking of Tamiya, Matt, did you see the new Tamiya vehicle that came out? It's like a 3-wheeled.
Dude, look, let me show you something here. Watch this. How many won that? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Boom! I did the article on it back.
Oh, you already did it. Nice.
And look, here's my deliver the goods as fast as possible. So this is actually a delivery courier vehicle in Japan.
Yeah.
And they race these things.
Wow.
Yeah. So
if you can flip them over if it
look at this.
Sideways.
Yeah. So let's see if we can.
Pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Here we are. Check it out. It's a little bit interesting, the little course they made. But
what does that thing cost?
They got to be $90 if they're.
I know, right? I kind of want one too, Jim. Like that's so interesting looking.
You know what? Yeah. It'd be really cool is to pull that.
Look at him flip back over.
Oh man, pull the dude out. Put your camera in the cockpit.
Oh my God, you want to talk about getting the cost is $100, and they should be available in November of 2017, which is
now. And I have a birthday coming up.
So here we are. Here's the dancing trike. Still says coming soon. It's not quite available. These wheels, by the way, are off of the Tamiya Mini Swift. I know this because I have it. So very cool little machine, isn't it?
Every Tuesday night, there's indoor flying in Smyrna, and we could set up a little track and run these things around there too.
We can make it a thing, you know.
We already looked at this one, didn't we?
It's this is what I want to buy in real life.
Me too.
I want a C10. I want a 350 power steering, disc brakes automatic. I told my daughter actually last night.
Jim, you wouldn't believe it if I told you that. How do I get off a screen share now? You off for me?
Yeah, you're off.
Okay. You wouldn't believe it if I told you down the street from me is a K5 Blazer lifted, and it's clean as anything I have ever seen, and they want $2,500 for it.
If you don't buy it, do you know how much K5s are? They're like collectible now.
Yes, it is a real K5 Blazer for $2,500. My initial thought was it must not have a motor in it. It must be stolen. But no, it's real and it's legit. And I don't have any place to put it, or I'd buy it.
No, just buy it.
I'll be like, hey, can I buy this from you and just leave it here? I'll give you $3,000 if I can leave it here for a few months.
Dude, it's worth 15 probably.
Easy 15. And it's clean too. I mean, it looks like it's lifted. It's got original wheels on it. It's not all like chrome magnum manned out with like crazy stuff. It looks like a real lifted 1985 K5 Blazer.
We're officially in the end of the podcast, but I got a catalog. I don't know how it got to my house. It's a Cadillac catalog. Say that. And
Cadillac catalog.
I actually looked at it this morning. I don't know what I was doing. And it's like got seat covers, grills, chrome bezels, Eldorado side plates, which I've been missing forever. But it occurred to me I could 3D print. Instead of Eldorado, I want the car to say Heldorado, as in Billy Hell. And I could print Heldorado and put it on. I have the guy that painted my car lost the Eldorado side pieces, and so there's 2 holes in my back fender. And now that I have calipers, I can get those holes exact and just.
You're starting to get all excited. I can tell.
Yeah,
you're starting to go up. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it.
The trim on my truck is gone and nobody sells it. And so I kept a piece of it. It's sitting in the back seat. I'm going to measure it and make it chrome over here. And then I'm going to make myself multiple pieces of chrome trim and see if I can't fake that out myself.
How big does the bed have to be for it to?
Yeah, I might have to make 2
you'll have to do 2 pieces.
But that's better than 0.
It'll still be bad to the bone to have 3D printed parts on your caddy. Hey, speaking of weird magazines showing up, I got a Crutchfield today. Is that company still in business?
How could they be? I guess they are.
Crutchfield was like the company I used to thumb through for audio stuff in the 90s. And then all of a sudden, bam, Crutchfield. I'm like, oh my gosh. There's a blast from the past.
It's all Amazon now, man.
It's all Amazon or nothing. I mean, who would buy a $300 tactical bag when you could get one for $29.95 on Amazon?
With free shipping.
With free shipping and Molly. And who doesn't like Molly?
Jason,
it's crazy.
What do you got to do today, man? You got to, are you mentally all engaged in this? I'm getting out of the house deal.
Yeah, we've got to go buy some paint and I've patched some drywall. We got to do some painting and.
That's terrible.
Yeah, we're in that mode, man. It's a lot of work.
I almost sold this house once and I did all that. I repainted all the trim and all that. And then when I told my wife, what are we thinking? And so we called the realtor and said, we're not selling our house.
Yeah. I think it's stuck on me.
Oh, it is. I've been looking at Jason's tiny photo the whole time. All right. Well, we'll get out of here and let everybody get to their work and their business. And I'll try to fly this thing and feel very confident with it.
All righty.
All right, y'all. Well, thanks for your time. Thanks for visiting with us on the live broadcast. We will not see you next week because you'll be eating turkey. And now it's going over everybody at the same time.
It's all good.
Differently.
Woo. Next week, 2 weeks from now, I'm taking back over my duties of the Switch. I like switching. I like being the Switch master.
Oh, all right. That's you.
But I don't have it here. If you can see, you can see what happened to me is that I have lost my switchability. It doesn't say anything anymore. So something happened.
You said duty. Hey, everyone. I'm going to show you the stupidest, coolest thing I've made so far. Oh, wait. You can't see it this way. Dagnabbit, I keep forgetting the camera is on. So this thing actually holds my camera. Let's see.
Whoa. Oh, that's cool.
Hold on. Okay.
That's the bad. Is that some bad guy in Minecraft?
I think he's a video game guy, and I'm not a huge fan of that being that thing. But this knife, I've had at my desk, dagnabbit, since I was like 8.
It's still stuck on me, by the way, on the live feed. No one's seeing any of this.
All right, hold on, everybody. If you're still here,
you got ultimate control of the switchability. There you go.
Where is it? Oh my gosh. Okay, so I made a slit for my knife to live in.
Got it.
And then my glasses sit on this thing because I always set my glasses down and can't find them. And then the camera that I have in my hand actually mounts in this hole, and so it holds it at head. And then it has these slots. And then what you also can't see are these SD card holders.
Oh, yeah. What's the time it took to print that bad boy? About 8 hours?
Oh, yeah. And so these
I like the knife in his head.
Yeah, I'm going to do this again in ivory, and it's not going to be a stupid looking dagnabbit. It's not going to be a stupid looking skull. It's going to be something pretty awesome. And then it'll do the same thing, but look better. Look
at your table. That is an RCer's table. All I see is a bandana and goggles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's tactical bag. Oh, there's a flashlight.
Toothpicks. Let's
play the game. What's on Jim's desk?
Here's a juice box. My handmade.
And do you have Velcro, soft Velcro on your mouse.
Yeah, check this out.
Amazing.
So I'm a gamer now, and
Look at that! Holy moly!
I even have this thing for my thumb to keep my thumb from sliding back. And I need a side wing for the side for my little pinky to keep from dragging.
That is, I think, necessity is the mother of invention, and you just did it right there, buddy.
What else do I have?
I'm getting VR sickness.
I know.
All right, I'll put it back up.
One of these days, we should all mount our live cameras to our hats, and then just do that. You know?
Gobble,
right,
gobble, y'all.
This has been the most random podcast of the month. Hope you enjoyed
That was a good one.
We went extra long for the lack of Thanksgiving. We actually did a podcast and a half.
That's fine.
All right, y'all. Simmer down. Have a great Thanksgiving.
And sim it down to you too, and sim it down to everybody in RC land.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
I'm killing
Down.
it.